Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey, it's Rob Hefner here with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside, hanging out in Town Hall, of course, and this is Talk of the Town. Today's topic is a little different. We're going to talk about something you're using probably right now, and that would be internet. So, internet is always something we use until it doesn't exist, and then we're like, why isn't it working? And in the area we live in, I don't know, especially over the last few years, we've had issues where we have it, we don't have it. Broadband is very important. I have with me Glenn Kephart. Now, Glenn, we might know you previously with Navajo County, but give me your position now, or what you're doing exactly.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. As you said, you might know me previously, which leads to what I'm doing now. I was previously the Navajo County manager, and in that role, our supervisors in the county had a high priority to increase broadband capacity and access throughout the county. And I took a hands-on approach to that. And I retired from being a county manager in July. And because I was so involved in these projects, I worked with the county to continue to work on specifically the broadband after retirement last July. And so I've been working with that, and I really look forward to having good discussion with you, because there's a lot of exciting things happening, and there's an opportunity for the community to really be involved to help us get better internet throughout the county if everybody's informed. So
okay, so talk to me about the initiative, first of all. What is it that's in front of us? Okay,
just a brief overview is the county has embarked on building a 105-mile, middle-mile broadband. And what that means, that's an underground system with 288 fibers in it that will bring basically unlimited capacity to the county. What the county's building is dark fiber. We'll leave the service providers that will become available for them to provide the capacity we need.
Right.
I refer back to that because the timing of that was important, because at the same time, the federal government, through the infrastructure bill, bipartisan infrastructure bill, dedicated $43 billion to build internet service out to all the unserved and underserved areas theoretically throughout the county that weren't already covered with federal funding on another program. That's called the BEAD program, B-E-A-D. That is very active right now, and it applies to Navajo County because there are FCC maps that show us where all the unserved and underserved areas are in the county.
Yes.
Those maps, and just on that, the definition of that is if you're less than 100 megabytes per second download speed, 20 upload,
right,
you're underserved. And if you're less than 20, you're considered unserved.
Right.
And I know many people in our community, even right beside somebody who's served, might be unserved or underserved. And it's really important to know where those properties are, because the BEAD funding specifically in Arizona got almost $1 billion, $993 million, that will be distributed throughout the state to deliver last mile service to the unserved and underserved areas. There is an opportunity right now through a challenge process, because if you look on the map, and we'll tell you how to do that. The county's going to send out postcards. We're going to walk you through this. But even though you may be in an area where you can go to the map and it'll show, oh, Rob's property is served, and you're like, I got crappy internet service.
Right.
You go to the link and you can do a speed test, and that information will go to the Arizona Commerce Authority, who will then, after doing 3 of those speed tests, maybe change your classification from a served property that doesn't get any of the BEAD money to an underserved or an unserved.
Right.
And then that BEAD money can come to build out those properties. We don't want to miss any in Navajo County.
Now, you don't want to do these tests like one at 2:16, one at 2:17, and one at 2:18, right? You want to do them at 3 different times of the day, right?
Well, actually 3 different days.
Or 3 different days.
The process will walk you through that.
Good.
Okay. All you need to do, and we'll get the I have in front of me here, and you can't see it.
Well, we're going to put a picture up of this, and maybe we'll even get the link to it as well, to just give you the website to go to. But we'll give you an image to look at online, and also here, hopefully attached to the podcast, that you can see what it's going to look like when it comes in the mail.
That's really helpful, and I appreciate that you're doing that and the service that you're providing to the community to do this outreach. Because when you get one of those postcards, go to the link, you click it, and if it shows that you have a speed less than 100, it will register that, and then it will give you a reminder the next day that you need to do another speed test.
Do another one.
Because according to the federal funding rules on this, you have to do 3 speed tests on 3 separate days.
Right.
So I know that's a lot for people to ask. But if you get in and do it, it's kind of fun because you get to see the wheel turning and you say, how fast is my service? And you might as well do it because it might make a difference and it might bring more money to Navajo County.
And if you're not getting service and you're frustrated about not getting service and you're paying for it a lot of the times, it's good to get this because then this is a way for you to get that changed.
That's right. And there's another aspect to this too that we want people to be aware of because maybe you're in a community where if you look on the map, it'll show that one of our internet service providers, mainly up here to the home, we have Frontier and we have Sparklight, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
And then we have wireless opportunities. You may live in an area where no service is provided, but the map may show that one of those providers actually provides service to you.
Yes.
And there is a process for you to go through that proves that
you don't
that's
have it.
wrong. You don't have it's called availability challenge, meaning that it's not available.
Right.
So not only is it not fast, it's not at all.
Now, in part of this, you're going to ask them to do a speed test. You're going to ask them to go to a website. You also ask for a bill. Am I correct about that?
Well, that's on the availability challenge, but we'll walk you through that.
Okay.
And it gets complicated. It's not that easy of a process, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible to just take you step by step.
Okay. So just follow through the steps. Do what you can. If somebody has an issue and getting the access to it or being able to answer this, is there somebody to get hold of to get answers or? Yeah,
you can reach out through the link that you're going to put on here, which is navajocountyaz.gov/broadband.
Yep.
And there will be an opportunity for you to reach out to the county through that site.
Okay.
And we'll get you to the right people.
Good. Cool. Anything else you want people to know?
I guess I would say that, this is really an important effort, Rob. And it's a once in a lifetime. I'm almost old enough to remember. I don't actually remember, but I was alive in the 1950s. We built the country built the interstate system across the United States.
Yes,
it was important for commerce. It was important for national security. Our country has become what it is economically because we have that. If you take that away, we don't have that. What's happening now with broadband is almost equivalent to that effort in my mind, is that the infrastructure to make sure that people are equally served with broadband, both speed and capacity throughout this country is critical. And we saw during the COVID crisis, we really saw the disparity. We saw it in our educational system. We saw it in neighborhoods that didn't have adequate. Some kids were able to do online school and move right along, and other kids just didn't have that access.
Right.
Healthcare, telemedicine, all those things are so critical to our growth. And specifically for Navajo County, I know you saw it, we all saw it, where rather than our economy suffering so much through the COVID, we kind of boomed. People wanted to be here. They wanted to get out of the valley or Tucson.
Yeah, they got away from the crowded areas to the uncrowded areas.
They got back to nature.
Yeah.
And they got to a place where they loved being here, right? And many of them would still choose to do that if they could rely on consistent, high-speed, high-capacity internet. They would rather be here than somewhere else.
You bet.
And the world's changing for that, and this is an opportunity for us to do that. And over the next few years, we're going to see significant change. And I just reach out to everybody out there who's listening to this. You may have an opportunity to help and make a difference in that. And a lot of little differences make a great difference. So
okay, so please take a look at this and give the feedback. Go in, check yourself to see if you're in an area that's shown as having great speed and you don't. you can be part of the challenge process.
Just one other thing on a timing of this, Rob, is that people should start looking for the teal-colored postcard the first week of April.
Okay.
The county will be sending them out.
Can they go, even if they don't get the postcard, can they go to this link and go ahead and check out things?
They can. And one thing I would like to clarify on that, we're not sending postcards to people who are already shown as unserved.
Oh, okay. Unserved.
Because they're going to be funded.
They're going to be funded regardless.
We're looking at the ones that are shown served and aren't funded, and we want to flip that.
There you go.
Seems a little odd, but...
No, that makes sense. So watch for your postcard. If you get that, definitely you're in that area that should be checking to see.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you once again. It's Glenn with the challenge to the broadband. Go check that out. And remember, if you have any questions, all our information is down below. We'll drop you the links, and we'll see you soon.